Aries, Dadhichi here with your December 2020 forecast. Sounds ominous, doesn't it? Well, you must admit we have to be a little bit careful if we're talking about 2020. Even if it is the tail end of the year, I'm hoping it's going to be better for all of us. This is a brief synopsis of what's going on, and this month is important in terms of, firstly, the solar eclipse that's taking place on the 15th. That takes place in Sagittarius, and it is in your 9th house, which has to do with the higher mind, the educational aspirations, and of course, as some astrologers suggest, spiritual matters. Finding that part of your nature, the true part of your nature. Spiritual is probably a very loose term because, that spiritual state we're looking for is really a pure creative state where you are basically one with what you do, one with your environment, and one with people. So I think it's an important eclipse for you. The eclipse releases huge amounts of energy, and that energy can be sometimes a little bit difficult, especially if you're transitioning into a new state of being, as this eclipse would suggest. Now, the mundane side of this is that the 9th house has to do with, universities, college, long distance travels, also has to do with legal matters. So, the eclipse stimulates these sort of areas in your life. And, where you've got any sort of eclipse, lunar or solar, this is a solar eclipse, the north and the south node are involved, and these are the karmic aspects of your horoscope. So the eclipse has a lot to do with karma, and taking place in the triangular part of your chart, that's the 9th house. The 5th and 9th houses particularly have to do with your past and future karma. So this is a defining moment for you, a time when you're pulling together all of the factors of your life and looking to find some deeper and more significant meaning. So that takes place on December 15th, smack bang in the middle of the month. On the 16th, day later, Venus also moves into the same area. Venus, of course, is your marital planet and also rules your finances. So the 9th house is the house of luck, and as I said, the eclipse has to do with karmic forces. And these karmic forces should in fact be lucky for you. The 9th house is a lucky part of the horoscope. And with Venus moving into this area, it actually entails your partnerships, your finances. So this is good if you're looking to do business or you've been waiting on some information associated with financial matters. 9th house is the house of luck. So there could be some breakthroughs in that area, which may have been a long time coming. The other two very important transits, well, it's sort of one transit. Jupiter and Saturn have been retrogressing and going forward, and they're very close to each other right now. That doesn't happen except for once every 20 years or so in different signs. But in this specific area of the zodiac, it hasn't really happened for a few hundred years. So this is significant. And on the 17th, Saturn transits into the sign of Aquarius, your 11th house. This is a very, very wonderful part of your horoscope. The 11th house is the sector in which all the planets do quite well. That's followed on the 19th by Jupiter. And that's going to be nice because Jupiter is the planet ruling that luck house for you. Having been in Capricorn, its weakest sign, it's made it a little difficult for many Arians to, get up and get that mojo happening again. But on the 19th, it moves into Aquarius out of that debilitation area. And then on the 22nd, makes a conjunction with Saturn. So this is a prime conjunction. And when these two planets coordinate, conspire together in the particular area of the horoscope, it tells us where the likely surge of energy is going to be. 11th house is your friendships. 11th house is collaborative ventures. 11th house, most importantly, is what it is you desire within yourself. What is it that you've aspired to over all these years? Because, you know, it takes 30 years for Saturn to make one movement back to this position and 12 years for Jupiter to make it back to this position. So you can see the coinciding of these two planets brings with it the opportunity for fulfillment. As I said, all the planets do well in this 11th house. So it basically means more cautious attitude to the friendships, the connections you're making. That's the Saturn energy. But it certainly is expansive, and that is due to the influence of Jupiter, your luck planet, as I said earlier. It's also ruling your 12th house. So you have to be a little bit careful. The 12th house has to do with how you share your resources, where you put your money, your time, your love, your thinking, your efforts. And so the 12th house is also construed as a house of loss. You have to be careful that you're not choosing the wrong people to direct your energies towards. 12th house loss, 11th house friends. It's also elder siblings. So there you need to maybe look at whether you've been taken advantage of by someone in that respect. Friends, siblings, and social connections generally. There are a couple of other aspects that I haven't mentioned here. On the 21st, we see the Sun moving into what we call the Capricorn ingress, into your 10th house. Usually each time Sun moves into this area of your horoscope at this time of the year each year, it's a perfect time for you to really push hard for your work. Even though most people are winding down, for you, Aries, this is a time when you can actually achieve quite a bit, because the Sun is in the upper part of the horoscope. That shows your reputation, your career, and so it indicates opportunities to elevate yourself, get your reputation in a better position, get a new job. So throw your hat in the ring if there's something going, because this is likely to be a time of opportunity. The fact that on the 28th, the Sun moves to the trine aspect of Uranus, which is the ruler of the 11th house, and gains, shows some sudden opportunity may arise for you right at the tail end of the year. And I guess that's a nice little note to finish up on this year. Now, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank all of you for hanging in here, being patient with me. I hope to see you again in the new year. I'd like to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, festive season. May the stars shine down upon you and bring you all your good karma. Don't forget to stop in at astrology.com.au. All of the updates for 2021 will be there shortly. I'm racing madly against the clock to bring it to you. If you've got any questions, you can do so here. And please don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Loved having your company in 2020, even though it was a shitty year. Take care. Bye-bye.